Proud to make a donation to breast cancer charities.
This is 11 on 11 at 10. 11 minutes of non-stop news and your forecast first. 11 News at 10. Looking out for you.
Good evening, I'm Beth McKay.
And I'm Jerry Jenkins. Our headline story tonight, a man posing as a police officer tries to abduct a child off of South Dallas Street.
But a quick-thinking neighbor who sees it all intervenes just in time. At this hour, police... Making news, Martin Luther King Jr. III stops in Fort Worth to urge people to get out and vote. King is urging local ministers to bring their congregations to the polls by caravan. King kicked off the Super Sunday Vote Caravan as part of the Texas Victory Democrats tour. And Texas astronaut John Blaha wants to vote but can't get to the polls. That's because he's aboard the Russian space station Mir. NASA suggested email, but that's out. The Texas election code doesn't count any ballots that don't go through the U.S. mail. You can get hooked on drugs, on alcohol, on cigarettes, but some people think another addiction is right at your fingertips.
It's a new phenomenon in this computer age, and in tonight's special report, health and science reporter Mark Levinson examines internet addiction.
The end of a long, hard day at work. Home again. Time to unwind.
Welcome. You've got mail.
Al. That's all he wants us to call him. He never unwinds with TV. Each night, he unwinds online.
Here's a story about Madonna having her baby.
He reads news updates, checks stock quotes, even plays games. The internet opens a world of things to do. Perhaps too much to do.
When I first started using the internet, I would say I probably spent close to 6 to 8 hours a day surfing the World Wide Web. Do I think that the internet could become a problem for some people? Sure. Just the way golf can become a problem for some people. If they spend too much time doing it, their quality of life suffers.
It's very addictive. It's a great tool.
Computer Currents magazine tracks cyber trends like chat lines. Log on and share digital chat with users around the world.
And you can spend lots of time up there. The emotional involvement with a person in the computer is pretty strong.
How strong? Just ask folks who eat and surf at Rick's American Cyber Grill in Denton.
I've known people who have gotten online for the weekend and you try and telephone them and can't get through because their phone is constantly busy because their phone is tied into the internet.
That may sound extreme, but of about 400 heavy net users studied by the University of Pittsburgh, more than half reported significant problems in their lives because they lost control over their ability to limit the amount of time they use the internet.
It's a serious addiction.
But does the internet really qualify as an addiction? Well, this is DSM-4, the Bible to psychiatrists and psychologists. It lists every mental disorder ever diagnosed. Nowhere in DSM-4 does it call the internet an addiction.
Very similar as if I cut you off on your telephone. You'd be inconvenienced and you'd be angry and you'd be upset. But it's not the same as really cutting somebody off from drugs. Your family members start telling them, you're not around anymore, you're always in the back room of your computer. And that should throw off a red flag, and they should start to seriously consider their priorities in life.
That's it.
Today, Al says he stays in control. Only 2 hours online a day. He's not afraid of addiction or the internet.
I think that being afraid of the internet is akin to being afraid of the telephone back in the early 1900s. It's here to stay.
Mark Levinson, 11 News.
35 million users surf the net today. By the year 2000, the net may grow to 200 million.
Coming up, the sky looks threatening. Is rain on the way? John Honore has the answer next.
And he's got too much time on his hands and not much time to fix it. Later, meet a man who's facing a busy night.